Diana, that grand mausoleum holds more bric-a-brac than the British Museum. Its rooms and its galleries ramble for miles. A hodgepodge of odd architectural styles.
The cellars and dungeons are ancient and striking, most probably Celtic or possibly Viking. The mansion is Gothic in much of its feeling, though late Anglo-Norman in parts of the ceiling. The splendid old tower is high Romanesque, combined with a variant version of Persian grotesque.
But the windows and doors are the soul of the place, as they light shifting patterns of shadow in space, creating a strange, unforgettable aura of grimness and grace.
I don't care about windows and doors. I want to go home to London.
What? A boy who doesn't care about doors and windows? Why, when I was your age, opening doors and windows gave me half my education. Doors and windows, open and close, they hide or expose all the world to your view. Gates and shutters, lock and unlock, to beckon or block wonders waiting for you. Now doors will never yield to doubters who go around moping, but if you're full of hope, you're holding the key that will open each door and window, window and door, and open new worlds to explore. I'm not talking about architecture, but the architecture of possibilities. Do you see?
I think I do. Doors and windows, bolt and unbolt, and only a dolt wouldn't want to go through. And you will find your doors wherever your destiny plops you. For you and you alone determine what spurs you or stops you.
That's it. For if you are open inside, then doors and windows will stop you no more.
They'll swing themselves wide for you,
Stand right aside for you,
pliantly slide for you,
surely provide for you wonderful worlds to explore. You can't imagine how beautiful it was. You had to be there to know how beautiful it was. Just think of springtime becoming summer. That's how it always was in Narnia. If I could show you the mornings we had then, when every dewdrop was like a diamond in the sun. You can't imagine that magical glow. You had to be there in Narnia to know. Back when Bacchus would provide the wine and drinking horns to cool us on the August afternoons, while nymphs and satyrs frolicked with the unicorns to Pan's enchanting tunes. You can't imagine how wonderful it was. You can't imagine how happy we were then, before the wind came and brought the snow. Yes, things were lovely so long ago. You had to be there in Narnia to know. can't imagine how beautiful it was. You can't imagine how happy we were then before the snow came, the endless snow. Yes, life was lovely so long ago. Our hearts were free there. You had to be there in Narnia to know. That name keeps chiming deep inside me like a song's insistent theme. Aslan, Aslan, Aslan. A name that wakens wondrous feelings like a word within a dream.
I feel lovely music in my soul.
I feel brave and daring to the quick.
I feel like I feel when school is over for the term.
Aslan,
I'm feeling sick.
Who is Aslan?
Who's Aslan? You mean to say you don't know who Aslan is? He's the proper Lord of the Wood. Word is he's coming back to lead us loyal ones in the fight against that usurping tyrant, the White Witch.
Why, he's the very breath of life to us, the heart and soul of everything true and beautiful in Narnia.
he's the golden lion, fiercer than the sun.
He is the waiting seed that sleeps beneath the snow.
Son of the emperor who dwells beyond the seas. Aslan is all of these.
He is the newborn lamb, the firstling of the flock.
He is our bold and valiant captain in the war.
He is the tender wind that whispers to the trees.
Aslan is all of these and more. We've kept our faith in him deep and strong, silently awaiting him, oh, so long.
Now he has come back to us the way it was foretold.
The rightful king who'll bring the spring as in the days of old. He is the thundering wave that breaks upon the shore.
He is the timeless well, abiding clear and pure,
Firm as a mighty rock,
and gentle as the breeze.
Aslan is all of these, oh, all of these and more.
I am not hot and bothered. I am not in a sweat. To be quite precise, I'm as cool as ice, unrelaxed as I can get. I'm not in a dither, and I'm not all at sea. You might hear that somebody blew their top, but I guarantee it wasn't me. When I was young, I lacked perspective. I was terrorized by fantasies and fears. As I've matured, I've grown objective, and I haven't gone to pieces in 400 years. There's no trace of a fever. There's no knocking of the knees, 'cause my Fahrenheit is exactly right at a perfect 32 degrees. No thanks to you.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I was just repeating what I heard.
These lurid rumors are very dire, like an infection that taints the blood, and they can flare up like wildfire. I won't have them, I detest them. Those who spread them, I arrest them. For the safety of the realm demands I nip them in the bud. I am not hot and bothered. I am not in a stew. If there's anyone who should worry, son, it should probably be you.
Me? But Your Highness, I'm only telling you what was said. Something about putting together a kind of revolt.
It can't be true. There's nothing to it. You're just malicious and seditious Tommy Rat. Don't lie to me. I'll make you rue it. You hateful and ungrateful little snot. What else have you heard?
Well, they said that Aslan is back and on the move, and he was putting together an army against you.
Impossible, unbelievable, absolutely inconceivable.
Though it may seem it's been winter forever, and you feel numb from the snow, even to dream seems a useless endeavor, and hope burns low. Joy for joy at last, it's Christmas. Wake the frozen countryside, warm them with the gladsome news. At last it's Christmas tide. Fly on the wind when it's gusting and stinging, fly on the sleet and the ice. High on the wind comes the caroler singing, as sweet as paradise. Joy for joy at last, it's Christmas. Raise your voices far and wide, make the hills resound with song. At last it's Christmas tide. Joy for joy at last, it's Christmas. Share a feast with peace and men. Hang the stockings, presents. Christmas, it's Christmas again. Sing fa la, sing fa la, sing fa la la la. La 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 la. The season for sowing is past. Sing tra-la, tra-la la 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 la. It's Christmas in Narnia at last.
Vampires and demons, banshees and sprites, gorgons and hellions and fetches and frights, servants of terror, oh, here and away. Murder today, oh, murder today.
Mother of coldness, of wormwood and gall, we hear your summons and answer your call.
Here is the victim, here is our prey.
Your queen bids you witness this murder today.
Those who dare to stir my anger, all who challenge my command, quickly shall they know the bitter justice of my hand. Murder today, murder today, murder today, murder today, murder today, murder today, murder today.
Your Majesty! Coming through the woods, Aslan's army.
My wand, where is it? I must have my wand!
Quickly, Your Majesty, this way.
And Susan found Lucy near the body of Aslan,
and they grieved together under the icy pale sky
until it was time to take him to his final resting place.
Lay him in a field of flowers, let sage and clover become his bed. Lay him in a field of flowers, with sprays of lilac beneath his head. The willow will weep, the swallow will call, the wind in the trees will mourn his fall. Still spring will fill the fields with flowers, with lilacs and lilies and all. For spring means rebirth, though each flower dies, the seeds fall to earth, take root and rise. So lay him in a field of flowers, and the flowers will bloom where he lies.
Now the real adventure starts, a challenge that will truly test the best that's in your heart. Find the courage within, and then begin to make the world right again, to make the world right. Worldly men will say to compromise that visions of a better world are fairy tales and lies. They may mock you with scorn, still you were born to make the world right again, to make the world right. For a world that's grown old, embittered and cold, has the seeds of rebirth in its womb, and a heart that seems dead may be sleeping instead, to waken at last from its tomb. Dare to cast thy bread upon the sea, have faith that it will be returned 100-fold to thee. For if faith stays alive, hope can survive to make the world right again, to make the world right.
Use the time you are given well, children, for in Narnia, as in the world you come from, there is never enough.
And the days danced by, and the children grew, and they set about the work that they were meant to do.
And the 4 kings and queens ruled for years and years, and brought to Narnia a golden age of peace and prosperity and joy the land had not known before, even in its sweetest olden days.
And the time whirls by, and it never stands, and it flows like water through your hands. And the days dance, the days dance, the days dance, the days dance by.
You can't imagine how beautiful it was. You had to be there to know how beautiful it was. Just think of springtime becoming summer. That's how it always was in Narnia.
If we could show you the mornings we had then, when every dewdrop was like a diamond in the sun.
We liberated young dwarfs and satyrs, and we chased out the last of the witches' hags.
We made pacts of friendship with all the other nations.
And Peter was named the Magnificent.
This is fascinating.
Well, I have a tour to conduct. I have no time to indulge in such nonsense.
Now let's not be too hasty, Mrs. McCready.
No.
You mean you believe us?
Let's just say, once a king or queen in Narnia, always a king or queen.
But that's what Aslan said.
You can't imagine how wonderful it was. You had to be there to know how wonderful it was. You can't imagine that magical glow.
We planted love there and made it grow.
You had to be there in Narnia.